Hi Matija, thanks for joining us at Tourism Think Tank for the last couple of days. You are the CEO and founder of a company called Turnio, technology in tourism and hospitality, but you're also from the region and you're one of the top 25 startups, hot startups from Focuswire, which is a global organization. So welcome.
Thank you.
What got you started in tourism?
Yes, I think I started in tourism when I was very little, although I didn't actually do much work, but my family had a hotel, so I was helping out here and there. So I was always been in touch with it. And then I didn't actually want to work in tourism afterwards. So I studied in the UK. I started my career in London, and then worked first as a consultant. And then I got slowly back into travel industry. I worked at Expedia. Mm-hmm. And then, about 2.5 years ago, I simultaneously moved back from London to Zagreb, where I grew up, and started a company again in the travel segment. And now we're building Turnio. We have people across Europe, but a lot of our kind of employees are in Croatia. We have customers in Croatia, but also across the world now.
Cool. And what is it exactly you do?
Yeah, so we have a technology platform that is used by hotels. And it helps hotel offer their guests the ability to book experiences. Mm-hmm. So if you think traditionally what happens if you're a guest of a hotel, most people want hotels to recommend things to do or recommend a transfer option or just be their guide to what is possible at a destination. And hotels typically do a very good job at putting a very nice image somewhere in the website and telling you what you can do. They do a very bad job of enabling you to easily book it. And we've built a connectivity layer. We built a technology that makes it very easy for hotels to enable the booking to happen on their website, in their chatbot, in their app, which is great for guests because guests can actually get a great recommendation and make a booking. Mm-hmm. It's also great for hotels because they create a lot more engagement. They make extra revenue, but they also actually give people a reason to stay longer. And that's a real benefit. People will stay longer if they book experiences. They will be overall happier.
So you use AI within that process. Can you give us an idea of how AI can help? And also, maybe some people haven't worked with AI yet. Maybe they haven't used it as a consumer even. What are the benefits and the pros and cons of AI?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's crazy because AI has been around for a while, but now it exploded in the last couple of years. So I might be a small percentage of consumers who haven't interacted, but I think most have by now. In terms of AI, what we found is most useful is AI can really empower people to do a lot more. Mm-hmm. So we actually, when generative AI came out, the first thing we tried to build was a customer-facing, like a chatbot that would give you an itinerary. And there's been a lot of those. And we actually found that didn't work as well. Because it would AI would be generating itineraries, and sometimes it would get it a little bit wrong. You can't get it today to be 100% correct. And then if you're recommending a consumer something and they don't know that it's wrong, it can be very risky. So we kind of discontinued. That was our first AI product. And then what we realized is that AI is a lot more powerful actually when we give it as a tool to hotels, to providers of experiences, to help them run their business better. So like examples where we use AI, for instance, is when you're creating content, AI can really help improve your writing. You can think like most of the content that is written is in English, but actually a lot of content is written by non-English speakers. And AI is really good if you're a local provider of like wine tasting in Montenegro. Like English is definitely not your first language, right? So, and you can probably talk English, but writing is actually really hard for most people. So AI can really enhance that, and that really kind of helps that experience shine and makes it look as good as if, a highly professional copywriter would have done it.
Yeah.
So that works really well. We're also using AI a lot to generate insights because people book a lot of things through the platform. And then AI can help hotels get insight on what people are booking. And that's amazing, for instance, in marketing. If you know that your guests are actually engaging with your wellness activities or with local tours, you can really improve your marketing. So we kind of use it to empower business users to actually give something extra to consumers rather than kind of let it directly interact with travelers, because we've seen that part doesn't work as well.
Okay, interesting. So we've been talking about sustainability in tourism for the last couple of days in Tourism Think Tank. It's what we're all about. Viability and the financial and economic sustainability is obviously one aspect, and whether it's that or environmental or social sustainability, you know, technology runs throughout our organizations. And I think you just said there, you know, we want to use these tools to make us make better business decisions.
Yeah.
And obviously we make business decisions in environmental aspects and social aspects as well. So, I mean, do you know how we might be able to use AI outside of the sort of normal business operations in terms of if you're not a sustainable company, but if we're looking at sustainability, how we might be able to start considering some environmental or social aspects and data use. Ultimately, it's about data. And where can we, or how can we make more efficient or speed up our processes of understanding perhaps the sustainability of a hotel or something like that?
Yeah. I think, I mean, in terms of like, as you mentioned, there's various types of sustainability. You can look from ecological point of view or from like a social point of view, economic impact on the society and so on. I think technologies like AI, I don't know if it will solve the ecological side, maybe, but I think it's hard. But I think one of the things that is great is that it's really empowering people to actually be a lot more productive. And it's kind of, you know, I hate to use the phrase, but like leveling the playing field, where, you know, a big corporation in the US has more or less the same tools as a small hotel or a small like tour operator that uses AI, right? Like they're all built on a couple of main models like ChatGPT, Claude, and all these. So I think that's amazing because suddenly, and this is what happened with the internet as well, like small players are empowered, and that actually means they can create businesses. And that means they don't necessarily need to rely as much on the government or on like, I don't know, like outside help. They can actually build businesses. They can actually access consumers directly. And I think at least from economic empowerment, that creates a lot of opportunities. So yeah, I think that can have the biggest impact. And it also like removes kind of the other thing that I think is important is that people are attracted to a good content. And again, AI is really good at generating high quality content. So maybe previously only you know, France or like a rich nation would have the budget to create highly engaging content and so on. But now actually through AI, like small DMOs, local players can create amazingly exciting content.
And actually be much more flexible and creative probably than some of the big players. You've worked a big player yourself. Everything becomes quite bureaucratic at times, right?
You have bigger budgets, you can do more, but like now that you remove this like budget constraint because AI is like comparatively cheap to for producing stuff, you can basically empower people to do a lot more, and they can kind of do a lot more than 5 years ago or 10 years ago when they would actually have to find a qualified people to build their marketing campaigns and so on. Now AI can power a lot of that and kind of build bring some prosperity and economic advantage to people.
And I think also just as a whether you're a consumer or whether it's B2B basis, it's a research tool. So if you're a small business and you're not quite sure where to start with sustainability, ask AI rather than ask Google, and it can absolutely crawl the internet and find all the information out there and make some suggestions, right?
It's a great point. I would imagine that often a barrier for small businesses around sustainability is also like knowing where to even start, right?
Exactly.
And you can probably with like half an hour with one of the AI chatbots, like you can probably have like a good list of things you can do and get started. So again, it like really empowers people to act on it rather than wait for like EU money or whatever else. Like you can actually go and do it yourself.
And some of the conversation we had yesterday was around certifications and the regulation of those. But in actual fact, if you're a small business, you don't need to join a certification program immediately. Ask AI. Look at the things you need to be measuring and monitoring to begin with, and AI can give you a very quick checklist of how to start. I think that's probably really good,
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Thank you very much, Matija.